Hi, on my channel I have a video talking about how I spice up my sketchbooks, listing a bunch of things I do, but quite frankly that video was pretty rushed. I don't like it that much anymore and I want to make it better, and also I have a few more things to add and I just want to go deeper into how I plan out my pages and stuff like that. So yeah, I made myself a list again, and I'll just be flipping through this sketchbook. That's the one I'm currently working on. It's close to being done, so maybe a sketchbook tour will be coming soon. But yeah, let's just get into it. And also, absolutely feel free to take inspiration from me. I don't mind it at all, unless you're like recreating one of the pages, drawings, whatever. Credit would be nice, but you know, if you don't want to give credit, it's whatever. I'm sure I'm not the first one to do this, I'm not the one to invent it, but yeah, I get this question a lot, so I thought I'd answer it right away. So usually I make my pages or spreads like almost finished artworks. I've kind of stopped making my sketchbooks sketchy, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can see that each page is kind of its own finished work, which, you know, it's not good or bad, it's not better or worse, that's just what I do. So first things first is combining different textures. It's really a benefit to traditional art for me, because in digital, you know, you can imitate different textures, but it's different when you can actually like physically see all of the texture, you know what I mean? Here I used glitter paper, puffy paint, foam stickers, you know, cut up a gum wrapper. Here I used a glitter paper as well. Yeah, you can kind of see. Here, like the page itself is pretty simple, but because of the glittery background, it's like a little bit more spicy. Here I combined a bunch of things, like shiny tape, gem stickers, that's doll packaging paper, I think. What was it, sequins, yeah, gum wrappers. Oh, this fell off. Damn. Band-aids, more shiny stuff, more doll packaging paper. You see what I mean? It's fun. It's all, you know, three-dimensional, you can touch it, and it's shiny or matte in some places. It's great. This page by itself, oh, you can kind of see me, that's crazy. This page by itself is also pretty simple, but because of the shiny background, it's like really interesting. Yeah, and I feel like I don't need to add more to this page, because I feel like it will be too much. More pages like this. Yup, just glitter and a sketch and maybe some puffy paint, you know. It's pretty simple, but it's cool looking, you know. And I use a bunch of stuff, like gum wrappers here, just stickers. I just save stuff like this if I feel like I can use it in a sketchbook. So like here, the aesthetic was pink and cute and like cat related, and it all just fell together very easily. Yeah, I recently got these smiley faces in different colors. I love them, so I'm gonna use them a lot. And in the previous video I did mention that I sometimes use unconventional decorations, I guess, like safety pins, buttons, stuff like that. And I still do, but keep in mind that when you do use stuff like this, your sketchbook doesn't close as well. I feel like it's pretty obvious, but I sometimes get comments like, how do you expect the sketchbook to close when you use this stuff? I don't expect it to close, that's the point. But anyway, I pick the decorations and stuff just based on the aesthetic I'm going for. Like here it's something like fancy and Y2K and stuff, so I picked shiny, cool backgrounds. Here, like I said, it was supposed to be cute, pink, cat related, so I just picked everything cute, and pink and cat related. Here it's supposed to be like moon and sad and gloomy, so I picked these jam stickers because they fit the color scheme. Did some stars and shapes with glittery puffy paint because it's pretty but not too much. This part is like my favorite right now, and I did a lot here. I did these masks, I'll talk about them more in detail later. Did the background with acrylic paint, did all of the doodles and stuff with little markers I have that don't have branding on them. Sorry, but yeah. These sketches are just on normal print paper. Yeah, it all just combined really nicely. Oops. It's all really about colors and just my associations, like in my head, when I think of, where is it? Like with this one, the aesthetic is just like fancy and colorful and shiny, glittery and stuff, so I picked everything that I had that's glittery and shiny and fancy and fits the color scheme. That's about it. I get them at like, I don't know, craft stores. I usually don't order my stuff online, so I don't know how to help you there. And here I did the background with acrylic paint, and then I did this little doodle with a silver glitter pen. Yeah, doesn't really look like it, but you know, so cool. So the next thing are felt pen sketches. When I'm bored and I have no energy to like do really complicated pages, I just grab my felt pens and do something. So here I sketched some blueberries. This was really fun. This one as well. For this I picked two colors for this one. So I picked a lighter color and a darker color and did the sketch with the lighter one and then went over it with a darker color, and yeah, we'll practice. These as well, I did a bunch of these portraits in a day. I don't remember how many exactly, but yeah, same thing, just pick two colors, do the sketch with a lighter color and go over it with a dark color. And this is really fun, I really enjoyed it. I've seen some people complain about the sketch lines, but they don't really bother me. I mean, it's all free-handed with the marker straight away, so why wouldn't there be sketch lines, you know what I mean? But yeah, I did like 12 of these in a day or something. I don't know. Oh, these are bad, actually. Yeah, and here's more. I did these yesterday, this little perspective practice because I need that, and this is just a picture I found online. Or stuff like this, just a quick little shoe study, or here fully free-handed drawing. It's not the best, you know, the face kinda but everything else not too bad. Next is some sticky note sketches, or that's what I call them. Just these little drawings I did of my OCs taking pictures of each other, and I just glued them into my sketchbook like this because there's not really enough space to do much else. Yeah. The next thing, I called it protective paper, but I basically put this paper in here to like protect this sketch from this page. It didn't really help, like the pencil is still smudging in some places, but it's here. And I guess just putting random papers in between pages also works for this. So this is the palette that I used for this page, and I put my FNAF movie ticket in here because it's a FNAF page. Yeah, I don't do this that often, but yeah, they don't fall out of my sketchbook. It hasn't happened yet, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun, just a little memory thing. Next is comics. This is more about the page composition, I guess. Yeah, just did a couple little comics with my OCs because I do not have the motivation to work on my webtoon anymore. So I sometimes do little comics like this or this. This is also like decoration idea, a gut background. It works really well for horror characters. And I actually have a tutorial on this in my shorts and on my TikTok, I think. But yeah, this one isn't the best I've ever done, but yeah. Next idea, I called it color coordination, but it can also be just color palettes. So here I did a few sketches of Ada Wong from Resident Evil, and since her like accent color is red, I filled the background with red as well to make it a little bit more interesting. Or here I did Sub-Zero, and I colored the background blue. It's not the best because I used a pencil, but yeah, his main color is blue, so I made the background blue. Or here, this is my most recent page. I wanted the color to like match the blood, but I didn't have the correct cardboard color, but still, that's kind of that same thing. Okay, next, I did mention this in the first part, but I have used magnets in my sketchbooks, and this is the most recent example. I just did these animatronic masks, and yeah, I do have a tutorial for this in my shorts and TikTok and Instagram reels, so hello. This one got a lot of likes on TikTok. But yeah, this is the same thing, just the animatronic faces and the kids. Yeah. Oops, sorry. They're really fun. Really fun to do and really fun to, do this. It's not hard to do. Again, I have a tutorial, so you can watch that. The only thing is I didn't put any like protection on the drawings. So I feel like over time they will smudge, but for now I'm just like being careful with them. The next little idea is doing a little blood splatter. I just use paint on a brush and I just do, this, I guess, till it looks nice. And it also works well for horror characters. Yeah, it's really simple, really fun, really cool. The next thing, I did this once, but it's like layering. So basically I used a lot of foam tape here, so he like stands out a tiny bit. And then this is 2 pages. So here, you can kind of see here. It's hard to explain, there's a lot of foam tape. And I wanted this to be like 3-dimensional, but it's not as 3-dimensional as I want it to be, but whatever. Or this kind of layering, just stick it in properly so it doesn't fall off. But yeah, just taping in one drawing so it like so it can do this. Yeah. I have this I guess just a Peppa Pig puzzle that I glued in here. Sure. And like in the previous video, the last thing is I sometimes do really simple pages. Like this is just doodles I did in 2 minutes. And this is just little face studies that I simply glued on the page. Same thing here and here. These are all Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry. This is also Mortal Kombat, I know. This isn't Mortal Kombat, but yeah, again, just glued a bunch of sketches in here to fill the page. Or here's just a couple sketches, and that's all. Okay, I think that's enough because I don't want to spoil the entire sketchbook before the tour. But yeah, like I said in the previous video, this is just what I do, and if you don't do it, it doesn't mean that your sketchbook is bad or anything. This is just for people who need some inspiration or wanna do similar things. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is better than part 1. Like, subscribe, please. My other socials will be on the screen and in the description. Stay safe and bye.